Hey YouTube, how you guys doing today? My beard is gray and my name is Trey. In today's episode of AWS Cloud Quest series, the Solutions Architect Role, right, we will be going over data ingested methods. So now we are on our way in our cool hoverboard to our location to meet with our customer. If you can do me a huge favor, go ahead and click a like, subscribe to the channel, right, so you can see videos as soon as I drop them, right, if you are interested in cloud computing, right, and becoming a cloud engineer, right? And don't forget to share the videos on your social media platforms, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever the case may be, and alert other people who are also interested in learning about cloud computing, right? We are going through this series. We're almost done. We're about 85% done with this series. If you haven't seen my first series of the Certified Cloud Practitioner, go ahead and watch that series, right? So you can get caught up and brought to speed. All right, so here we're meeting with our customer. Hi there, I'm the head of data analytics at the city's shipping service. Thank you for coming. I'm happy to help. What seems to be the problem? Our package tracking application is receiving lots of streaming data. Managing this data stream with our current resources is getting expensive. Our data analysts need the clickstream data, but I am concerned about the budget and the amount of resources required to operate effectively. Do you need to pre-process your streaming data and run analytics in real time? Yes, we are aiming for that, but it's not an easy process for us right now. We use Amazon EC2 instances in our backend to pre-process data and run analytic applications. Amazon Kinesis Data Analytics is a great way to transform and analyze streaming data in real time, right? We are forecasting exponential growth. Can this solution handle that? Yes, Kinesis Data Stream takes care of everything required to run streaming applications, and it scales automatically to match the volume and throughput of your incoming data. Using Kinesis Data Analytics, you have no service to manage, no minimum fee or setup costs, and you pay only for the resources your streaming application consumes. Well, now I am intrigued. I think this could work. Can you help us manage our data using Amazon Kinesis? I accept. We accept. Let's go. Thank you. I am super excited to see this solution. All right, so now we're moving to our solutions diagram, right? Data ingestion methods. This has a lot of different services that are accompanied with that. If you want to watch individual videos on about these services and overviews, you can do so by clicking on that button right there. All right, but we'll just continue to go on, right? This is our solutions diagram of all the services we're going to be need. This is the flow of how everything works, right? Amazon Kinesis Data Firehose transforms to a Lambda function, right? Deliver stream to S3 bucket, Amazon Athena, right? AWS Glue, Lambda function, and DynamoDB. Those are the services that we're going to be using. So let me just go ahead and go through all of this stuff. You can read all that on your own. Let's go over to the plan. So for our practice lab goals, we're going to create an Amazon Kinesis Data Firehose delivery system, ingest and store clickstream data in an Amazon S3 bucket, right? Transform ingested data by using AWS Lambda functions, and then create real-time queries by using AWS Glue and Amazon Athena, right? So this goes into more like the database stuff, right? And then, right, for the do-it-yourself, DIY, edit the Kinesis Data Firehose delivery system to send real-time analytics to an Amazon DynamoDB table, and then we're going to change the S3 buffer, hence buffer intervals settings to 60 seconds, right? So that's what we're going to do today. Now we'll come over here to our practice, and then we're going to start labs, right? So it takes a little while to start and provision this lab. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back once the lab has been provisioned. Okay, so now we're back. Our lab has been provisioned, right? So the first thing we want to do is we want to open up our cloud console, right? And while we're doing that, second thing what we want to do is see if there are any associated lab files with this exercise, right? So I see there are no associated lab files, so that's good, right? So now we can come back to our steps, and then we can move on to our next step. So there's quite a few steps in this exercise here, but we will go through them, rest assured, okay? So the first thing you want to do is you want to click on Kinesis, right? You can copy and paste this, and then copy and paste it in the search bar, or you can just simply type Kinesis here and then you can just star, and it adds it to the favorites. Okay, just click on the star icon, and then it adds it to the favorites. So now we'll come back over here. We've done that step. All right, so the first thing we want to do is click on Kinesis Data Firehose, and then we want to create delivery stream. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So click on Data Firehose and then create a delivery stream. Okay, now we go to the next step. All right, so for source of the drop-down menu, we want to choose direct put, right? And then for destination, choose Amazon S3, okay? Then for delivery stream name, click stream data. We have to type this in, okay? So now let's go ahead and do that, all right? So for source, we want to put direct put, destination. What was the destination? Amazon S3, right? So we're sending this to a Amazon S3 bucket. And we want to come down here, and then for delivery stream name, we want to call this click stream data, right? So now let's go ahead and say click, and then stream, and then data. Click stream data, okay. Then we're going to scroll down, all right, and then we want to choose enable data transformation, okay. We want to choose enable data transformation. So we want to come down here. Let me see. Enable. Where was that at? So transform and convert records. Transform and convert records, right? So turn on data transformation. Enable record format. So it looks like maybe the console has been updated. So just turn on is the same thing as enable. So turn on data transformation here. Okay, good. And then now we're going to go to browse, right? When we click on browse, and then here we see our buffer size 1 megabyte, and then the buffer interval is 60 seconds. So remember, they told us that at the beginning. We would need to change that. So just take a note. All right, so now data processing function, and then click choose. Okay, so we want to browse data processing function right here. These are our 4 Lambda functions that were pre-created in our environment. Okay, so we want to choose data processing function. Okay, all right, now we can go to the next step, and then scroll down to destination settings. Then we want to browse here, and then we want to choose our data bucket that was also pre-created for us. Okay, so destination settings, we want to browse, choose this data bucket here, and choose. Okay, let's go to the next step. All right, so we want to type in process data. So I'm just going to copy and paste this so I don't make a mistake. And I'm just copying it to a text document that I have off screen, because that's the best way for me to copy and paste, because for some reason it does not copy and paste straight to the console for me. I don't know why. All right, so in the S3 bucket prefix, that's going to be the prefix right there. Okay, and then error, and then a /. We can just type that out. That'll be fast. So error, and then a / right there. And now we are complete here. So now let's go to the next step. Click on this menu right here, the drop down icon. All right, and then we want to review where it says 5 and then 300, and then scroll down. So we'll click on the buffer hints, and we see 5 and 300, and then scroll down, and then click on the advanced settings, right? So we scroll down, click on the advanced settings right here. Move this down. Okay, cool. And then you see we have these advanced settings pop up. Okay, so we want to choose an existing IAM role, Identity Access Management, and then the role we're going to choose is the Kinesis Firehose role that has been pre-made for us. All right, so we come to our advanced settings here, choose an existing IAM role. You have the option where we'll create one for you, or you can choose an existing one, and we would choose Lab Kinesis Firehose role. Okay, then we will click Create Delivery Stream. Okay. Now we'll go on to the next step. All right, once it is created, you see this green banner here. That means everything is good to go within the Cloud Console. All right, so right here, now blue is informational. It just lets you know something is happening. All right, so right there it says it could take up to 5 minutes before the status is updated. So we will wait that 5 minutes and then we will come right back. Okay, we're back. So as you can see, the clickstream data was successfully created. All right, so now let's go and review. All right, so we have here, we see that the status is now active. All right, so that's good. That's what we're looking for. All right, so now let's go ahead and type in AWS Glue. Okay, so now we'll come up here, we'll type in AWS Glue. All right, we'll go ahead and save that to our favorites and we'll open up the service. All right, let's go to the next step. Now here we'll go to databases and then we'll click on add databases. Okay, so we'll come here, we'll go to data catalog, databases, and then it says add databases. Okay. All right, so now we want to type in firehose inbound. Okay, so firehose inbound. Go to my text documents off screen. Copy and paste that. Firehose inbound. Okay. And then click create database, which we'll do. All right, and voila, just like that. Okay, go to the next step. And now we have databases, and then we go to tables, and then we'll see firehose inbound right there. Okay, so databases, tables, and we're waiting on this to create. With databases, and then it says click on firehose inbound. So number 1, review, and then number 2, click on tables. So we come here, firehose inbound, all right, and then we want to click on tables right here, okay? And then add table using crawler. So we want to come add tables using crawler, okay? Then crawl process data. So we can go ahead and copy and paste that into the name, okay? Crawl process data. So let's go ahead and copy and paste that into the name. All right. And then go to the next step. So when we click on the next step, keep the default of not yet and then click on add data source. Okay. So we have not yet, and then we want to add a data source here. So data source would be S3, and then browse S3, and then go to and choose our data bucket, right? So we have our data source is S3. We want to come here, and then we want to browse our buckets, and then our data bucket that we're choosing is the data bucket, right? Yes. So there we go. Okay. Then once we have chosen that, right, type behind, okay, so behind the bucket name, right, it's like we're just adding a new object. So we want to type / processed data right there. Okay, so you can do the same. You can copy and paste this. Okay, let me just, and then all you have to do is copy it to the end of your name, your bucket name, right? And that just creates a new object. Okay, so now we review, crawl all subfolders, and then click on add an S3 data source. Crawl on all subfolders, add an S3 data source. All right, good. Okay, then we want to click on the next button here. Okay. Create a new IAM role. That's what we want to click on. And then we want to type data ingestion after, right? the service role. So AWS Glue service role. So we'll create a new IAM role, and then we want to click on data. We want to add data ingestion after that, right? So let's go ahead and we'll copy and paste this. And click on Control C. And then directly after that service role now, and then we'll just click on create, and you see our role has now been created. Click on that, review that, and then scroll down to the bottom. All right, and then output configuration. So that's what we're looking for. So we'll do that, click next, and in output configuration, right? And our target database is the one that we created in AWS Glue. So firehose inbound, okay. Choose that and then scroll. Then we scroll into crawler schedule, frequency, and then all /5 right there. So crawler schedule. Let me see, was that a next? Hold up now. Let's go back to previous. Okay, crawler schedule is right here. So now let me come back. Let me see. Crawler schedule, and then frequency, we'll do custom. Instead of on demand, we'll do custom. Now we have everything we need here, right? So minutes of the hour, right? So we'll do every 5 minutes, right? So right there. So let's go minutes of the hour. We'll go to the star symbol, and then every 5, right? There we go. So then we'll scroll down, and then we'll click on create crawler, okay? So we'll scroll down, next, and then click on create our crawler, and then you see the green has processed. That means it has been successfully created. All right, so now we will continue on, review that, yes we have. Now we want to navigate to the EC2 window, and then let me see, navigate to EC2. Remember, on the top navigation bar, you can use the services search box or click services to navigate to a different service console. Got that piece, right? So just make sure that it has the new experience check, which it should. Then we click on instances. We will choose our web UI, and then we will copy and paste this IP address, which is the public IP4 address, and all you have to do is click on this box right here, right? So now we'll come here. You can type in, or I have EC2 saved to my favorites. So now I'll just go ahead and click on that, and I'll come over here to instances. We only have one instance running, right? And now we will find the public IP address, which is right here. We will click on that guy and then go to the next step. So right here, you see, we will copy and paste the IP address, but also you see, right, you have that slash and then that fire hose, so you need to type that in there. So let's go ahead and make that happen. We'll open up a brand new tab. Yes, you can see that. Let me go ahead and copy this in. You see nothing is found, but when we put in that correct API, it should be fire hose, okay. Oh, not house, fire hose, right? There we go. All right, bam. So now we have that, and then we want to click stream data, right? Type that and then click submit. So we want to make sure that we properly put in the correct spelling of click stream data. So I'm just going to copy and paste that over here. And then I will copy that, put in click stream data here, right? Then I will click submit. And then once I click submit, I will click start, and then you see the different data sets here, okay? We click start, and then it says click on start one on the data sets. The concept behind this is by default, each delivery stream can intake up to 2,000 transactions per second, 5,000 records per second, and 5 megabytes per second. You can increase this limit by submitting a service limit increase request. And what that means is you would need to reach out and create a ticket with AWS support and then say, hey, I would like to increase my limits here, okay? So we would click on the data set one, and then we will start this data set, right? And then start the streams, okay? The number one thing you just need to look for here, right? When you see this HTTP status code and you see that it says 200, that means it is successfully pulling information from the server, okay? All right, so now the next thing we want to do is we want to go to Lambda, right? Which is the serverless, and then we need to go to functions, and now we want to find the data processing function, okay? So I come back up here, I see that the service has not been picked yet, so I would just type in Lambda, right? And I will save that to the bar. Excuse me. Yeah. And then I will bring that up. I will go to functions. I believe it was data processing, yes. So I will click on the data processing function and then click on that, right? And then I will come here. So now I'm within the function, right? Excuse me. All right. So now I'm within the function. Let me bring this down. All right, then we want to click on code, okay? Which should already be there, yes. Click on code and then click on this symbol here, right? Which is the expand symbol. So click on code, click on the expand, and that just expands the window right there, okay? So now let's move on. Now we want to scroll down and then we want to review where it says clickstream data labels, right? And then get data from the Kinesis record base 64, okay? Clickstream. So now let's come down here. And then we see clickstream data labels and then data from Kinesis record, right? There we have it. Okay, so now we'll go to our DynamoDB, right? And then we'll click on tables and then we'll review the DynamoDB table here. So now we have to type in Dynamo. This is our DynamoDB database, NoSQL database. We'll save that to favorites. We'll click on here. We'll go to, what was it, tables and then output table. So we click on table and we have our output table here, which is currently active, okay? All right, so now we'll go to Amazon S3 and then we wanna click on the data bucket and then click on pre-processed data. So we'll come here, click on Amazon S3, click on data bucket. All right, and then inside there should be an object that says pre-processed data. So sometimes you just have to let it work, right? And then the buckets, the pre-processed data will start to populate to the bucket, but it might take some time. So we'll come back once it starts populating. Okay, now we're back. So as you can see, the process data folder has come back, right? So now we can click on this and let's go to the next step. So we want to click all the way down till we see the clickstream data, right? And then we want to choose it and then we want to download it. So as you see, there's multiple steps here. So let me just go ahead and click through, right? All right, so now we've arrived. So we're here at the clickstream data. Click download. Then it will come to your downloads folder. So when it comes to your downloads folder, then it should look a little something like this. This is what it looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this off screen just to show you so you can kind of see. All right. Okay, so now we're gonna go back to AWS Glue and then we're gonna go to the crawlers page, right? So we come here to the crawlers page. And then we want to go to crawler runs, right? And then we want to review one table change, one partition change, right? So you see right here in the corner, Let me come off screen just to show you. So you see we have the exact same thing. One table change, one partition change. Now we want to navigate to Amazon Athena, right? So now we'll come to Amazon Athena. And then we go to the query editor. Okay. Now for our data source, AWS, or data source, AWS catalog. That's right. Firehose inbound. Okay. And process review where it says process data. Review right there, right? Okay. Now we want to click on the settings tab and then click on manage. All right, so close this out, click on the settings tab, and we click on where it says manage right there. So we can browse, and then we want to go to our bucket, right? So we browse here, go to our data bucket that we created. We want to choose that. Then we want to click save. That's where we want to save our information to. All right, cool. Then we want to click on editor. We want to see that it's been successful, and then click on editor, right? Then we want to come to the pre-processed data, and we want to click on this symbol, right? This hamburger symbol here. It's not hamburgers, it's the three dots right here. Click on those three dots, and then go to preview table, okay? So we want to come down here, pre-processed data, click on this, and then go to where it says preview table. Review, right? Select from the SQL, review the SQL output, right? Where it says select from, Firehose inbound, process data, right here. This query. Then we want to click on run again, and then we want to scroll down. So right here we have run again, and then we scroll down, okay? Loading the results. Review the output, and then continue to scroll. And then look at the partitions, partition 1 and partition 2. So review the output, scroll over. Look at the output for partition 1, partition 2. 10 here, 4 here. Then we want to do run again. First of all, we want to type, right? So I see, let's go to the instructions and see exactly what it's telling us to do. So in the query window, type. Okay, so we want to type this, right? So select column 2 as source, and then count thing as count from Firehose process data. So we want all this to be on the first line. So I'm just going to copy and paste that. Bring this over, and I'm just copying and pasting it off screen so I don't mess up the format or anything. And then I can just copy and paste it in the query, in query 1. So let me come back over to query 1, and then let me copy and paste that right there. Okay. Then in query 2, right, for my where statement, right, this is all like SQL stuff. I'm gonna put that in number 2, and then group by column 2. Okay. See if I can. Yep, it's right there. Cool. All right, and then after we've done that, we're going to hit run again. Okay. And then we will review the count. So count 233, 154. Then we go to the next step. Next step. Now we want to start clicking on where it says dataset 2, dataset 3, and dataset 4. Okay, so dataset 2, dataset 3, and dataset 4. Okay, there we go. All that has been successful. Congratulations. So now we have made it to, we have made it from the step-by-step design, and now we're going to go and transition into the do-it-yourself section, okay? All right, so now we're in our DIY section, okay? So now let me see. Edit the Kinesis data firehose delivery stream and real-time analytics to Amazon DynamoDB. This validation service will verify that the Kinesis DIY. So edit the Kinesis data firehose delivery stream to send real-time analytics. The only way it could be done is this. This is where the buffer settings are. And I can change this to 60. Okay, because I know that that's a thing that it wants me to do. But where the destination is, let me save changes here. Now, inside of DynamoDB, you have the output tables, right? Thinking it should be here. If I clicked on tables and then came to exports and streams. Now, export to S3 I can't do. Amazon Kinesis data stream. Consume and manage. Because it's saying edit the data hose fire delivery stream to send real-time analytics to Amazon DynamoDB. Edit the stream. Oh, let me see. Hold up now. Okay, this is that. This is this. If I go to configuration, data processing, I need to send analytics. now let me choose analytics and then save changes. Because if I save changes and I changed it from data processing to analytics, now it should send analytics to, yes, to DynamoDB. And then I changed the clickstream data. I changed the S3 buffer, and I changed that to 60 seconds. So now let me go back to tables here. No data available. Still gotta wait. Okay, so now let me come back to tables, and then it just needs the name of the table. So now let me see, because it might take some time to provision that data. Let me go back over here and put this in here and see what happens. Bam, you did it. All right, so that's exactly what I need to do. I just need to change it from, what was that? To process the data analytics. All right, great. That was great. All right, cool. So configuration, I changed it, and then I edited it, and then I browsed, and instead of doing data processing, I chose to send the analytics to the DynamoDB. And then by viewing that function, because in Lambda, right? So coming here to the analytics function, this is how I actually saw it, right? Because coming down here, I could see, hey, it's processing to DynamoDB. So that's why I changed it to, and that's how we figured that out. Man, that took a while. All right, cool. So now we have done it, and let's go give our customer the great news. Thank you for the solution. Choose a reward. Oh, a football stadium. Now, you know we got to choose this one, dog. Throw this in the corner, you know what I'm saying? Bam, football stadium. All right, great. Hey, so we have solved our solution, and there it is, right? So, man, that took a little time, but you know, we was able to actually go and figure it out. So please join me in my next video, right? And we're almost done with this series, right? So we're almost close. We are close, very, very close to earning our badge. All right, so join me in my next video. I'll see y'all pretty soon. All right, see you later.